Well, we're in a very political time. There's no question in my mind that if we would have issued this report, say 3 years ago, I think he would have been impeached. Right now, we're in a political era. We know that when a president is impeached, his popularity goes up. In order to save the republic, we cannot allow Kamala Harris to become president. We cannot have what would in effect be a second Biden administration. And I think for that reason, we are not going to, for political reasons, not move an impeachment this time. You've got to remember, the Democrats control the Senate. He'd never be convicted anyway. And I think
Well, let me
want
stop
to.
you there, Congressman. No, no, sir. No, sir. I can't let you get away with that here. Yeah, you're right. The Democrats do control the Senate, but Republicans control the House. And the whole point of giving you guys the power is to do something. You guys throw one heck of a great investigation and some pretty incredible committee hearings. It makes for great TV. But right now we've got diddly squat. Nobody's being held accountable here, Congressman.
Well, I think to a degree, the entire Biden family is being held to account. And they're being held to account because we've issued this report for all historians to look at. I hope anybody who makes a fair biography of Joe Biden in the future will talk about all this corruption going on. I would hope, and I don't know if you have it here, I would hope that the video of Joe Biden bragging he got a prosecutor in Ukraine fired will be repeated as often as the video of about 20 years the Abscam scandal, where Ozzie Myers, the congressman from Philadelphia, said preposterous things that will forever label him as a corrupt person. I think that video of Joe Biden getting a prosecutor fired so that his son's business could continue unimpeded, I hope that is something that Americans will be looking at 50 years from today.
So Congressman, I'm curious. Speaker Johnson sent all you guys on early vacation. I get that everybody wants to go to the beach and whatnot. I'm just curious, why? Why weren't you guys called back to Capitol Hill to deal with some of these very serious issues facing the nation? And let's get real here, because we all know there is another government shutdown looming, and I suspect we're going to kick the can down the road again.
Well, again, we're dealing with a political season. Congress is never in August. You can see, given the slim majority the Republicans have, that frequently it's difficult to get things accomplished. And like I said, we have all sorts of things to take up when we return after Labor Day, which is what is always done in an election year and every year. Take August off, people have plans, come back in September. And just because we're gone doesn't, of course, mean we're not working. This report, for example, was issued. I'm sure we're all on local media, and in this case, national media, trying to educate the American public on how corrupt Joe Biden was.
All right. Moving along here, Congressman, Florida Democrat Jared Moskowitz literally out there daring Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer to call for an impeachment vote in Congress. Here's what he had to say. There's been no evidence on Joe Biden. Joe Biden didn't commit anything wrong. But if they're so insistent, right, well, then call for the vote. I called for it. He refused to second it. So what are we waiting for? Tick-tock, James. I think you may have answered that question. Republicans aren't going to do anything because you guys are concerned it might impact your election chances and re-election chances.
Well, we want the public talking about the reasons why the republic really will permanently change if we have what amounts to a second term for Joe Biden, right? We have to be talking about the border. We have to be talking about the inflation. We have to talk about heavy-handed Department of Education forcing transgenders in the girls' bathroom. These are the things that we want the public focusing on going into an election. We know that the public, sadly, does not like impeachment inquiries, and we cannot afford to lose the country over an impeachment inquiry that frequently the public does not want. That's why Congressman Moskowitz wants an impeachment inquiry, because he knows politically it would be good for Kamala Harris.